Good evening. Good evening. For those of you that are just coming in the room now, there's some refreshments that are in the back of the room. Feel free to grab something while we start going over the trip details that we've got planned for 2024 and 2025. We've got a lot to cover tonight. I'm excited about our meeting, and we're going to be getting started in about 2 minutes. So if you have to use the bathroom, again, the back of the room, there's 2 black doors. You head out there, you make a hard right, you'll see the women's room. Men's room is also right there, and then you can come back through those doors. Don't worry, you won't get locked out. And if you also want to follow along with some of our trips, we have some trip brochures that's over in the blue table that's also in the back there. And so feel free to grab something before we get started. Also, you got a little piece of paper when you came in to fill out. If you haven't, I know a lot of you've already filled it out. It's for our door prize entries form. We've got 3 wonderful gifts, traveling gifts, that'll be coming at the end of the program tonight. So make sure you fill that out. If you want to put it back there, or we can have Dawn, which Dawn, you want to raise your hand here so they know who you are. Dawn can also collect it from you and put it in there for you. So we'll get started in 2 minutes, and thank you all for coming. I know they did such a good job, didn't they? The front door. Yeah, you filled it out. You filled it out. Yeah, they just great one. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. There. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, we got a big program for you tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, but for those of you over there that are grabbing some refreshments, feel free to continue to do what you need to do, and then we'll have you join us over here at the table. So, first, I like to start with a little housekeeping stuff, and I want to introduce myself. I'm Michelle Putnam. I'm the group travel manager here at AAA Minneapolis. And I'm the person who's responsible to put together all of these tours that you see in front of you today. I also have some great people that work with me, Christina and Liz, who you met when you checked in today. They work with us in the department as well. So the three of us work really hard to put those trips together and bring these to you. And we're really working hard on 2025 and 26. You're seeing some of them trickle out. We are working on our catalog right now. You might have last, for those of you who were around last year, remember our catalog came out last fall. We're in the process of putting that together right now. And we expect to have that out in the end of September. So when we all get together again in October for our October meeting, you'll have our 2025 catalog, which hopefully will also have our 2026 things in as well. So that's what we've been working on here, and hopefully everybody's been had a great spring as we get ready for summer. My daughter just got out of her first year of college and just got home, so it's been great to have her back at the house again. And it's great in the summertime to hear the birdies chirping in the morning, and a great time of year. It's also a great time in the summertime, is a great time to travel. So, today we're going to be going over a lot of trips. A lot of our summer trips are already sold out. Mackinac Island, anybody going to Mackinac here? I'll be hosting that trip, so you'll be going with me. All right, yes. We're going to have a great time. Oh, great. You're going to be going with, is Ralph going on that trip too? Wow, that's going to be great. So, also we have Chris is going to be leading our trip to Norway. Who's going to Norway in August? Oh, yes, we got Norway people in here as well. All right. So we've got a lot of trips going on this summer. We got a summer mystery tour. Anybody doing the summer mystery tour? We've got a few doing the summer mystery tour. Perfect. So summer is the time to travel, and I hope you're excited about it as we are here. And so tonight we're going to be focusing on a lot of our travel for the end of this year. We still have some spots in our fall trips. And obviously the winter trips it's a time to start thinking about those as well. It's hard to kind of sell, Christmas in July or whatever they call it right now, but we are going to talk a little bit about the holidays today. So anyway, the way I always like to start the meetings is, can I have a hands of how many new members do we have here today? First time here, district. Can we give them a round of applause and welcome them? Thank you. So we're officially up to about 120 members as of today. Might be a little bit higher than that because we've had some signups over the last couple of days. And so we're really excited that we continue to grow. We are a travel program. So our program here is we're about travel. And if you're interested in getting out and doing something, whether it's domestic or international, what we try to do is put those opportunities for you guys together. And one of the ways that I do that is that trying to keep what we call the single supplement low, right? So you guys are all familiar, possibly as solo travelers, when you go on something you want, most likely you want room. And so, you get that single supplement, you're like, why do I have to pay higher than that double person, And so we really try to do the best that we can to keep those single supplements small so that you're able to travel with us on all of our tours. And, and most, I would say, 85% of the time I have control of that. There's some times I don't. And that's like cruises, right? Cruise lines, I don't get to put the pricing together. They kind of take care of that. But we try to work with our partners and find opportunities for you that would make it, make a reason to go on that specific cruise. And so a couple of the cruises that we have, the one specifically that's coming up in the end of January, I'm actually hosting that tour. And I would love for you guys to come on it with me because we are going to, it's the first solo cruise. And what's great about cruising, that specific cruise has 4 stops in it. And what's really great about it is that each day we'll be planning on those stops together. So you're never alone when you travel with friends. That's what I always say. So it'll be a great time. And I hope that it's over there. Hopefully you'll consider joining us. But today, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about one of our special trips that we have for next year. and that's something we're going to be running a tour to Scotland. And Dawn is going to be coming up in just a little bit. Just want you, well, Dawn will be ready. We'll be starting that in just a minute, but come on up and we'll, and she's going to go over that tour with you guys today. What is a solo exclusive departure? So you've seen a couple trips out there, my cruise. We also have a trip to Milwaukee in the holiday season. So a solo exclusive tour is basically a tour that is only for Solo Traveler Club members. That doesn't mean you can't bring a friend. We don't want to make it so you can't bring a friend. Maybe that friend will want to join the club after, but it's for Solo Traveler members only. And it won't be open to everybody in the club, basically. So it's your own trips. And right now we're working on trying to figure out where we want to put these solo trips for next year. So you have a chance to have some input, right? So after the meeting today, Liz, right, we're going to have it's going to get that, there's an orange bag back there, and we have some papers back there that you can fill out. So if there's a destination or an idea that you think that would be great for our Solo Traveler Club, this is how you can have some input and impact by filling something like that out, and then we'll review it after. And you know, what I look for is trends. If I see somebody that keeps putting in Portland, so it's like a sign, Michelle, Portland, got a new Maine, right? So anyway, and speaking of Maine, I just got back from Maine. Everyone's looking about my tan, and you believe I got this from Maine? So I mean, you know, it's pretty crazy. It was really hot there when I was there. So anyway, when you see Solo's exclusive departures, that's what that means. And I should use the clicker. There we go. Also, for those of you that are new, or maybe if we may have people here that are not in the club yet, but are considering being members, what's included? So it's $20 to be part of our club for the whole year. You can't even buy a pizza for that anymore, right? So I think it's a fair value. It's we give you two $10 vouchers back. So basically, we give you your money back, but we're telling you to please use these to travel with us. Those vouchers are good for any of our hosted group tours. And then we do bi-monthly email newsletters. So a couple things. They are bi-monthly. I know some of you, I get emails every now and then saying, I don't think I got that newsletter. And I was like, well, it's not the right month. So it's on the opposite months of the meeting. So you wouldn't have gotten one in June. You would have gotten one in May. And then you'll get one in July. And then we don't have a meeting in August, but you might get something from us in September again as well. And then we'll have our October meeting. And then in November, you'll get another newsletter. So you see, it'll be every other month, okay? If you're not receiving the newsletters and you went through your spam before you contacted us, because sometimes it goes into that spam box, please let us know. Send us an email, give us a call. We'll kind of try to figure out what happens. Sometimes you accidentally might have opted out of something and then you're not getting them. So please communicate with us. We'll make sure you get them. The newsletters are going to have great information on new trips that are coming out, any special events, which is something that I'm going to talk about in just a second. Also, we're going to do a holiday party in December. And I mentioned Solo Exclusive Roommate Connection. Let's talk about that for a second. That's also a service or something that is something a part of the club. This is if you want to room with someone and save that, you know, single supplement fee, but you don't know of anybody that may not want to travel with you, we can connect you with someone. And how that works is if you let your agent know or advisor know that you're interested in having somebody room with you. And what we'll do is we'll put it in the newsletter. We'll put your name. We'll just say that there's a solo member, man or woman, looking for we do have men here, right? We do have some. My guys, raise your hands, right? Come on, yep. So but we're not a dating service, so I just want to make sure that's. But anyway, so we'll put you guys together, but we never put you in a room without you meeting or talking first, making sure you're compatible. Because, you know, I come sometimes snore at night, so if you don't like that, you probably wouldn't want to room with me. So, you know, those are kind of things you want to talk about. The last item on here is something new that we just started doing, and it's called Meet Me There's. And Carrie, I'm going to have you come up real quick. So this is Carrie Logan. She's on our, why am I not thinking? It's not Minnetonka. Eden Prairie office. Yes, thank you. And it's been a long week. This is my 6th presentation this week, so I'm going to get through it. But Carrie and Dawn have actually done these meet me there's. Just going to tell you what it is, what they've experienced so far, and here we go.
All right, hi. We had a meet me there, was it just last week?
Yeah.
Boy, time flies when you're having fun. We did a meet me there at the Old Chicago in Eden Prairie last week. I had a great group of 10 ladies. It's very casual. We just came, you order your own snacks and drinks, you pay for everything yourself, but it's just a time for us to get to know each other, have a little chat about travel. You know, you can ask me questions about upcoming tours. We can talk about different things, places you've been, places we'd all like to go. And on my to-go container, I wrote down a big list of all the destinations my table talked about that they wanted to go and submitted that to the group to Pepper when we got back. Do you want to talk about yours?
No, you go ahead.
And I definitely would encourage you to come to another one. Dawn's got one coming up this month. I have another one in August.
July.
Oh, sorry.
July.
Not this month. Yeah, July, and I have one in August.
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, so how do you find out about these or to sign up? And they are limited to about 14 people. So, you know, and so we like to try to mix it up. If you've never been on one, been to one and you want to go to one, we'll definitely make sure that that will happen. Also, Chris, who's in the back, you want to stand up there real quick? He's also one of our tour managers, and he is going to be doing a meet me there. We're just finalizing the date right now, and so all of this information will be coming out in your newsletter. So keep looking for that, and we can get you signed up to do that. It's a great opportunity to meet with our tour managers, get to know them a little bit more, and I'm hoping to maybe host one in the fall as well. So we'll see from there. All right, so I already introduced everybody again, Carrie, Dawn, and Chris. They have been with us from the beginning and they do a great job. And Chris is going to be going out on Norway, like I mentioned, in a very, like 8 weeks he'll be going, and we're excited about that. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute. I'm going to give it over to Dawn. She's got about a 15-20 minute presentation about this really amazing trip that she's leading in May of 2025.
Want this one there?
I think I'm gonna stick
You want
it
me
in
to host
here.
it?
Yeah.
Give me one.
Is that okay?
Of course you can. 1 second. You take the clicker.
Yeah.
I'll take the clicker. All right. There we go. All right, hold it there and then you're good. All right, you should be good.
Just because I need my notes, I've been to Scotland several times and I might forget one little thing and I just don't want to forget anything. Anyway, this is a continuation of my legends, literature and myth tours that I kind of started last year. This time it's going to be Bonnie, Scotland. And just to get you started on a little bit of literature background, Sherlock Holmes author, isn't Robbie Burns? What's that? So, yeah, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle actually is from Scotland. And he is one of our authors that we might enjoy talking about. Robbie Burns or Robert Burns, Sir Robert Burns, actually is a poet. You've probably heard the name. In the Twin Cities, we have Burns Night. Everybody gets together and they read Burns poetry. So, you know, if you're Scottish or you want to be Scottish or you love the Scottish, go ahead and go. It's just, it's a really fun time. For this tour, pretty excited about it. As you can tell, can't stand waiting till next May. I'm going to run it similar to anybody that was with me last year to England. I'm going to run it similar to that tour. So we're going to stay in one spot for a couple days. We're going to have a day where we're going to have tours, and then we're going to have kind of a down day. So if you want to do a little bit of hiking, or you want to check out the local pub, or, you know, if you just want to kick back and enjoy the scenery, take some photos, all those kind of things, that's how this tour will go. We are going to cover a good fair amount of ground, just because Scotland is pretty spread out. So we're going to get up and make a great big circle, starting out in Edinburgh, coming back to Glasgow. So brought the wrong glasses with me. It's always helpful. Our first hotel, and let me click away here. I learned something new today. All the times I've been to Scotland, I didn't realize there were 900 islands around Scotland. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. when we arrive in Edinburgh, we're going to be staying at the Apex Hotel. I've stayed there. It's in a great spot. So anybody that wants to go walk around on the Royal Mile after we've done our touring for the day, the Royal Mile, you can never get tired of it. You can spend a whole week in Edinburgh on the Royal Mile and never see everything. There is ghost tours. There's pipers. There's people dressed up like in the blue makeup, Mel Gibson in the blue makeup. There's singers. There's a place on the street where you can see where they did the last witch burning in Edinburgh. I know that's kind of gross, but it's there commemorating, this is the last one. This is the day we stopped doing this, which is pretty cool. There's just so much. Edinburgh is a city built on top of another city. And that, along with the castle on one end that's still used as a military facility, the palace on the other end, that was the home of Mary Queen of Scots for a while, but that was where they lived. The castle was where the military was. And we'll get to see all of those things. I see Rosalind Chapel popping up here. So I've been to Rosalind Chapel every time that I've gone to Scotland, and you never see everything there. If you've read or seen the Da Vinci Code, it talks about that right at the end of the Da Vinci Code story, where the Knights Templar probably or maybe dropped off some of their loot. Nobody knows. The previous St. Clair family, who is now Sinclair, won't let anybody excavate the chapel. So underneath, supposedly, there's another building that's as tall or as deep as what the chapel is tall. I keep going there. One of these years, hopefully they excavate it and I can find out what's down there. And of course, like I said, we'll be back at the Royal Mile before we take off. You'll have plenty of time to look around and do some things on your own. Visit the pubs, try the whiskey. I mean, there's endless things to do in Edinburgh. Then we start our tour, or we start heading toward the southern part of the Highlands. Eventually, we're going to end up in the Cairngorms National Park, but on the way there, we're going to stop at St. Andrews, and we probably have a few golfers in our group here. I was just there last year just to view it. I don't golf, but oh gosh, what a beautiful place. Beautiful and so iconic. Everybody knows about St. Andrews. So I think you'll really enjoy seeing that. We're going to also move forward. So before we all go there, the Scots love their bridges. So we have to go over the Firth, which is a body of water on one of the bridges. And I'm sure whoever is our tour guide on that day will talk about the bridge and how it got there and all of those things. But are there any Outlander fans in my audience? I see 1, 2, 3. Nobody else wants to claim it? Okay. We will be going or stopping at Pitlochry. And Pitlochry was the town that they used for Inverness on the show. So when you're watching, you'll be able to go to that town that was in the show. I've got a few Outlander things in here, so if you need to catch up, you sure can. Now this is the area that we're going to be spending a couple nights, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is a Scottish National Park. We have one of our days there. We're going to go on some tours. Our other day is going to be completely free. So if you want to get out and do some hiking or walking or just a little discovery and maybe find some sheep. Am I at the sheep? There's the sheep. You will find them, I'm sure. You might find yourself a cow, a Scottish cow, Highland cow. Or you might find what I found when I went wandering around the Cairngorms, and that was a little old church ruin, and then the ancient graveyard that went alongside it. Oh my gosh. Some of the graves in there were 1600s. It was just pretty amazing. The whole feel of being in that part of Scotland that's so wild and so gorgeous just kind of gives you a little bit of shiver. So if that happens, you just take your wee dram and head over by a fireplace and sit back and enjoy yourself. One of the places that we're going to stop is Blair Castle. Blair Castle has been in two families or two clans, if you'd like, since it was first built in the 1200s. And it's the Murrays and the Stuarts, but it's a certain clan, and I don't want to say this incorrectly. It's the Athole clan. There's ATHOLL. And when the way the Scots say it, it's great. It's really hard to say. There's a few words that are going to come up that you're going to say, how do you say that? So, don't be worried. We're also going to head up to Culloden Battlefield. Now, this is a place that the first time I went, I was shocked at how moved I was. I had done a lot of reading of Scottish history, and I'm really pretty into Scottish history, but I had no idea that it was going to bother me as much as it did walking onto that battlefield. Within 40 minutes, 1,300 Highlanders lost their lives. And it was a battle with the British, of course. And all they did was roll them into these big graves. And each one is marked by a clan stone. So they just carved it in a rock that they found on the moor. And if you can imagine, all of these Highlanders were just rolled right into these graves. This is what they've got to commemorate them. It is a very, very moving place to go. The first time that I went there 20 some years ago, the gift shop or the guest entrance was probably as big as 4 of these tables put together. It was really tiny. Now it's gigantic, and they show a film of what they could possibly have done, with the two armies fighting with each other, what it might have looked like if you were standing in the middle of it before they send you out onto the battlefield. So it's very realistic. They also have swords and all kinds of things from that time. So it's a pretty interesting place, as well as being a very moving place. Does anybody know the story about Bonnie Prince Charlie before I go too much further into the Highlands? Anybody? No? Nobody? Okay. We'll learn. Also, when we're in that area, we're going to go and hopefully get a chance to put our toes into Loch Ness and try to spot Nessie, because I know that's a goal for everybody in this room. No, it is a very cold lake. I have stuck my toe in it. I still haven't seen Nessie, but it's a beautiful lake. Very beautiful crystal blue, with the green trees around it and the deep blue sky. Very, very beautiful area. From here, we're gonna head over to the Isle of Skye, and how am I doing? Well, I'm good, okay. And you will see another bridge. So this is currently the only bridge that connects the mainland of Scotland to one of the islands. And the Isle of Skye is the one that it's connecting. This bridge has not been there for a long time. I don't know for sure if it's even 25 years old. It's a pretty new bridge. They're very proud of it. As I said, they are with all of their bridges. But it's going to take us out to one of the most beautiful places that I believe I've ever seen in this world. And I've been a lot of places. Scotland has my heart, probably always will. And I get to share it with you guys. So I'm pretty excited about that too. One really fun castle that we're going to get to see is Alien Dawn Castle. This castle was in many movies. Anybody spot it from a 007? Where? Can't hear you. Skyfall, I believe so. From anybody back in the day watched the Highlander movies? Yes, Be Only One, yes. It was in the very first Highlander movie. Way back in the day, back in the 50s, there were, hey, I was born in the 50s, very good time of the world. They had it in a few movies at that point too. So they've been filming there for a long time. We're going to stay at a really beautiful spot at the King's Arms Hotel. We're going to be right on the water. We're going to be in Kailikin, which sounds like a really funny name for a town. It's a great town that I've stayed in before. I think right across the bay from this hotel, there is an ancient castle ruin. If you want to hike up there, I'd say absolutely do it. It's not a difficult hike. I've done it, and it's a beautiful castle ruin. It's what you would think a castle ruin should look like, and I don't have a picture of it with me tonight, sorry. But it's going to be very close. 2 minutes? Okay. See, I've already over talked. We're going to go one place on Skye that I haven't been, and that's the ferry pools. And just beautiful natural scenery. And we'll go through this kind of quickly. The Old Man of Store, we're not going to miss. It's at almost our entrance onto Skye. Also, we're going to go visit Dunvegan Castle. Way out on the tip of the Isle of Skye. This is where Bonnie Prince Charlie escaped from. The English were after him. They wanted to behead him. He was snuck out of Scotland and spent the rest of his life in France. But he went through this castle. And then we're going to Oban, again, right on the water. So it's going to be gorgeous. But no question. Okay. I'm really looking forward to staying here. It's such a beautiful area, very close to the rest of the islands. And here comes Michelle to chase me out. We are going to the Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond. And we're going to do a little boat tour on Loch Lomond. Again, another spot of just amazing natural beauty. On our way toward the end of our tour, we will be stopping at Doon Castle, another spot that was used in the filming of Highlander. I was at this castle before the Highlander was ever filmed, or not the Highlander, I'm sorry, Outlander. Before Outlander was ever filmed. This is an awesome castle ruin. It's right in the middle of Scotland. Nobody knew about it at the time that I was there, but it is in lovely shape. You can go inside and tour it. You'll really enjoy it. And just down the road from there is Stirling Castle. There were several battles fought between Scotland and England at this castle. Stirling Castle still stands. It still stands complete. So I guess we kind of know that the Scots won those battles in the 1200s and the 1300s. And again, gorgeous castle, not a ruin at all. From here, we will head to Glasgow for the night and our farewell dinner before we have to go home. Anybody have any questions? Sorry, I talked a long time.
You're fine.
I would love for all of you to come with. I think it would be a great time. I think you'd really enjoy it. And I also want to welcome all of our new people. That's amazing. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you,
And
Dawn.
thanks for listening.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dawn.
You bet.
Great information there. And one question that you might have, I gotta stand up on my tippy toes because this one is the weather. So the weather that time, I looked it up just as you were talking, because I know that's usually a common question since we're going in the middle of May. It could be anywhere from 50 to 60 degrees during the day. So this is kind of a trip where it's gonna be refreshing. So you want to dress in layers. So I've always found like anytime I go to the UK, I want to dress in layers. So great. So anyway, thank you, Dawn. All right,
Just gotta get reset up here. Give me 1 second. I'm short, so it's hard for me to get around everybody. I can't see everybody over here when I'm there, so give me 1 second while I set up. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about some other trips too. But I should tell you, I do want to wrap up Dawn's trip so you know the pricing. Again, it's May 16th through the 26th. And this is again where the solo thing comes in. I believe those might be reversed, guys. Is that what it is? I was just gonna say that the pricing on them. Yes, it's been by so with the pricing on your flyers is correct. Okay, so you see there, they got reversed. So $7.99 single, $72.99 per person double. That's a very small single supplement for a tour over to Europe. So, and we've made it affordable for you to travel solo with Dawn. And I hope that you'll consider going with her on this tour that's customized, that she put together. So I think it'll be a great trip. There's a $250 deposit to secure your spot. And final payment is due by February 15th. And, it's really important that if you want to join a trip, that you put a deposit down because, if you don't put a deposit down and we don't get your reservation, then we don't have enough people to run a trip. And then you come and say, oh, Michelle, why did you cancel it? I wanted to go. Then I get like, oh, we should have put a deposit down. So it's important because if we do happen that, every now and then a trip does get canceled, but if that were to happen, you get your full money back. We give you every single dollar back. So there's really no risk. If you really want to go on the tour, it helps reserve your spot. And we do try to keep small deposits. $250 on a $7,000 trip is really not that much money, right? So to reserve your spot, but at least lets us know that you're committed to going. So don't forget to do that because we don't want to miss out on the trips. All right, so we're going to talk about another one of Dawn's trips, and this is coming up in September. And this is the last call for this tour. So we have to cut this tour off basically by the end of next week. If you're interested in doing this tour, it's September 8th through 13th, and it's a fabulous tour. I mean, Baltimore in the fall, there's no better place. I mean, the weather is just fantastic. Sunny days still, there's still, you get a lot of sunshine there. It's not typically rainy, even though it is hurricane season, they typically don't get their rain until early October. This tour includes a lot of great sites. I don't know if how many people have ever been to the Chesapeake Bay? Just a few, all right. So there's lots of great things to eat there, so that's what I love about the bay, the oysters, the crabs, a whole bunch of great things to eat. And here's a quick video. Hopefully this will work for me. There we go. About what you're going to see on this trip.
Hundreds of miles of shoreline, offer endless escapes from the ordinary. Breathtaking views and boundless open waters and cultural ways. The Chesapeake Bay and the towns that make her vibrant truly set Maryland apart from any other state. Our water can transport you, both literally and figuratively. It soothes and restores. It's dramatic, unpredictable, and it's both office and playground. The Chesapeake Bay is Maryland's heart and soul, and she wants to discover. Each of the towns nestled on the bay shoreline has its own personality, flavor, and taste. Each of them offers you a unique vacation experience that you won't forget. Set out with a water-working skipjack and hear the tales of those who have made their living for generations from the Great Chesapeake. Lighthouses that have kept sailors safe now throw on the welcome light for you to scale steps to their tops for views and memories that will last a lifetime. Charming streets, many paved with oyster shells, will lead you past historic homes and inviting shops where you'll find unexpected treasures. Surround yourself with nature as you bike or paddle while herons and eagles soar above. Enjoy a romantic weekend while you savor the day's fresh catch in family-owned waterfront restaurants and inns. You'll find that the Bay towns of Maryland are entirely relaxed and completely authentic. They're places where the welcome mat is always out. Come meet our Bay towns and indulge all 5 senses on our shores. Your Chesapeake Bay escape is waiting.
Yes, and those sunsets and that end of that video, they really do look like that time of year. So this trip again is September 8th through 13th, and I'm just going to give you a couple of highlights. First, it includes airfare. So we fly into Philadelphia. Why do we start there? Well, because that's the closest airport to fly to get to Cape May. Cape May is actually New Jersey. But it's not on the Chesapeake, but it's the southern point. It's near Delaware, and Cape May is one of the most beautiful places that I've personally ever been to. A lot of Victorian homes. There's a lot of history there, and it just kind of makes you feel like kind of back in time. I've brought many groups there, and every time they go there, they always say, Michelle, when are you going to put another trip together? I want to go back. So I really truly believe if you've never been to Cape May, you're going to love it. We're going to also be going to Assateague, which is where it's an island where the horses are. You'll be able to see these horses that have been around since the Spanish started coming over back in the 1600s. It's kind of a neat story of why they're there and how they keep going. So we're going to get to meet these horses. Also, another highlight is going to be going on the Patriot Cruise. So you're going to be able to cruise through the Chesapeake Bay, and that'll definitely be a highlight as well. And then on day 5 of this trip is we're going to be going to Minneapolis and going to the Naval Academy. If you've never been to the Naval Academy, it's quite the sight to see. You see all the young men and women that are that are going through the academy, but you also get so they're usually marching around. But one of the things that we're planning on doing on this tour is we're going to be having lunch there, and we're going to see what they do in their formations that they go through. And every time they have lunch, it's quite the experience as well. So and then on day 6, we're going to head into Baltimore, and we'll fly home from Baltimore. But before we leave Baltimore, we're going to have a fabulous brunch at Miss Shirley's. She has definitely the best fried chicken in town. So it's going to be a great trip. It is, let's see, this trip is 5 nights. Round trip air, round trip motor coach, between round trip, but it'll be motor coach. They'll be going from Philadelphia to Baltimore at the end. 9 meals, all touring included. So if you're interested in this tour, this is your last call to get your spot reserved. All right. And Dawn, I was just thinking, you never mentioned the whiskey. You're gonna have whiskey when you're in Scotland? I was just thinking about that, Jeez. All right, moving along, September 30th through October 4th. This is a new tour that's just come out since the last solo meeting, and I haven't moved this around. It's not on here, I guess, yet, but it's this is the Fall Mystery Tour. So the Fall Mystery Tour is, I can't tell you where it's going. I can't really tell you much about what it is, right? But this is a multi-day tour, so I can tell you we're gonna be moving around. I can tell you that you're gonna see a lot of great sights and, what else? And I don't know, I guess I could say that you will be able to enjoy the fall colors. So I guess that's what I'm gonna kind of give you as kind of little hints. But other than that, I can't tell you much else. But I can tell you there's 4 breakfasts included, 3 dinners. It is 3-night hotel accommodations, and round trip motor coach transportation, all tours and admissions, baggage handling, all taxes and gratuities is included as well. This tour is $1,999 for single, and the double is $1,549 per person. We also offer a triple and quad. If you've got some friends and you want to do that, then we have that available as well. Final payment is going to be due August 10th, but the deposit is low. It's only $100 to reserve your spot. So please, if you're thinking about this, it's fun. Liz, you're going to be hosting this tour, right? You want to stand up? She's over there. Liz will be your host on this tour, and you'll have a fabulous time. She's actually helped planned it, and it's going to be great. All right. Our mystery tours always sell out. So if you're new to our little club here, mystery tours don't sit on those. They will sell out. All right, so now what I've got in front of me here is the Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular. This is also hosted by Dawn. Dawn, you're a very busy woman, right? So, and this is October 20th through 25th. It's in the Boston area. We're gonna be flying, it's round trip to Boston from Minneapolis, 5-night hotel accommodations. Of course, your motor coach, this includes 11 meals. So it's got a lot of meals included in it and all your gratuities and whatnot. So we're going to be seeing things like we'll have a historic Boston tour. We'll see the JFK Library and Museum while we're in Boston. We're going to be doing a Salem Witch Museum. There's a whole big production called Haunted Happenings. We'll be doing a Haunted Happenings cruise as well. So if you like Halloween, this is your tour. If you've never been to Salem and seen all the witchcraft and things that are from that time, it's definitely, something that you should have in your bucket list if you enjoy Halloween. So I got a little information about this so you can see what the spectacular is. Just get the clicker. There you go.
Which way moves? Which doesn't seem to bother business.
We actually got married here.
They fly their brooms here from all over because this place to many, well,
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
the 1993 cult classic is set in Salem, where that has cast a spell on the city's quaint streets. These 3 friends have donned Sanderson sister costumes every October for 6 years now.
So people do yell at us, especially when we post. Ooh.
Oh!
Sister, I'm not gonna.
The crowds are even bigger this fall after the release of Hocus Pocus 2.
It has rekindled a barely fading passion for the Hocus Pocus films and all things Sanderson sisters.
But there's also room for other sisters in magic, offering a whimsical contrast to Salem's scandalous past.
Charged to bring you to the house of Lieutenant Nathaniel Ingersoll for your examination.
What charge?
Witchcraft, good wife.
1692 witch trials, when innocent men and women accused of witchcraft were put to death. Trials are reenacted here daily in tribute. Despite that troubling past, today modern witchcraft is alive and well in Salem, thriving in popular shops like Pentagram.
We are welcoming and we love to answer questions about the craft and kind of open the world to just a little bit of magic.
Leanne Marama is a witch and psychic who read my tarot cards.
We're gonna be busy next year. There's a lot of work coming.
Busy like Salem, which shows no signs of slowing down.
Yes, so Salem is gonna be very witchy if you haven't been before. And, one of the things, if you look at this tour that we have planned, there are so many details, so many that we would be here for 2 hours if I really went through all of it, and I'm not gonna put you through that. But something really quick, we have planning a Fenway Park tour on this tour. We plan on doing this ghosts and gravestones kind of tour where you get on this little trolley and go around and see famous gravestones. This is the JFK Museum. I'm going through these fast because we have a lot to get through, so I want to go through fast. This is where how they make cranberries. They flood the fields, right? We're going to learn about how to do that. And then we're going to see some amazing jack-o'-lanterns.
I'm trying to wrap something for everybody. What we do is we transform a lantern.
These are real jack-o'-lanterns.
An illuminated galley. And we transport you for about a quarter mile into a world where you're surrounded by thousands and thousands of jack-o'-lanterns. You think you're at a show, but you are in a show. So you're immersed in this sea of pumpkins staring at you, and interspersed with them are spectacular pieces of art that are augmented with lights and music and effects.
We've incorporated a lot of background lighting this year that just transforms these trees into something magical.
I love the big ones. When they start bringing the 1,500-pound, 1,800-pound pumpkins out, they put them out initially so the kids can see them, and then they start carving them right on the trail. Those are, if I had to pick, that would be my favorite, a large pumpkin.
So you can see from those pumpkins, there's there'll be a lot to see at that, at the spectacular, which will be one of the highlights of the entire tour. So we'll see the Salem Witch Museum, which you see here. We're also going to be doing, like I mentioned, it's going to be a cruise, so we'll do a cruise. And of course, a lot of other highlights as well. So if you like Halloween, this is the tour for you. Definitely go ahead and get your spot secured. Again, it's October 20th through 25th. And moving along, we've got another fall themed tour. This is called Fall Colors in Branson and the Ozarks, October 25th through the 30th. And this one is round trip. It's as a motor coach, and it leaves from Minneapolis to Branson, 5-night accommodations. And we'll have this daily, and there's also additional meals included, and so that'll be on your brochure there. This some of the highlights, the Clay Cooper Theater with a backstage tour. So if you've never been in a backstage at one of these big theaters in Branson, you'll get the opportunity to do that on this tour. The Hughes Brothers, they have a great theater, they have a great show as well. We're going to be doing, of course, no trip is complete to Branson without going to see Paula Dean's restaurant. We'll be having a great meal there. And as well as going to the Amelia Earhart Hanger Museum and Branson Landing. So again, this tour leaving on October 5th from Minneapolis. We're going to head on the first night. We'll be going to Lambert's Cafe in the Ozarks. We're going to be enjoying a country music and comedy show on night one at the famous Bald Knobbers and the Hughes Brother Theater. On day 3, where we have a full day planned on this day as well, we're going to be going to the Dogwood Canyon Nature Park is what you see here. And then also this is the day that we're going to be seeing the Haygoods Christmas show. And I know it seems like Christmas show end of October, but they start their season early and we'll be there for the first week of Christmas. So, and moving along on this tour as well, this also includes a historic downtown area landing. We're going to be doing a tour down there. And you can walk around the boardwalk area. There's a great ice cream parlor down there that you can have some amazing ice cream. And there's also a cool Branson board game cafe down there. And this is the night that we're going to do our group dinner at Paula Dean's. And then we're also going to be seeing a comedy show. So full day there. And then on day 5, when we check out, we're going to be heading back through Kansas. So we're going to stop at the Amelia Earhart Hanger Museum and see the legacy of this truly trailblazing of aviator who defied the odds and pursued her dreams. So this trip is filled with a whole bunch of things, and I think that you're really going to like it, this tour. It's October 25th to the 30th. We ran a Branson tour last year and it sold out. So we expect this to be a popular tour again this year. This tour
is, the pricing is right here, and it's $14.99 double per person, and the single is $19.59. Again, I just want to point out, it's a very low single supplement on a 5-night trip, so it's so very affordable. It's $250 due down per person. Final payment will be September 10th, and we always recommend travel insurance. Now, we also have coming up in is our 2024 President's Journey, and this is to Japan. And this is going to be in November. It's November 1st through 11th. And so what's a President's Tour? President's Tour means that it's hosted by our CEO and president, Tay Kim, and his wife Ingrid. And what makes that important to you is that, well, one is Tay's a really cool guy. Number two is that he's a lot of fun. And number three, when you're traveling with the CEO, it's VIP, right? So the whole time. And so he's got a really great trip planned to Japan. And if you've never been and you're like, I'm kind of nervous to go all the way over to Japan, this is a great opportunity to travel with a group in an atmosphere where, you don't have to worry about getting from point A to point B. We make sure that you get there. And so some fun facts about Japan I have up there, it's kind of cool, is that this is something I won't go through all of these, but the number 4 is extremely lucky in Japan. So you won't see things in 4s. So like when you buy, something at the store, maybe like washcloths, they won't come in packs of 4. It'll be 3 or 2. You won't see in a hotel, you most likely won't see a 4th floor. Just something strange about that. They have some things about the number 4. So anyway, we'll learn about all these wacky kind of fun facts about Japan. We're going to be starting in Kyoto. We'll be going through to Tokyo and Miyajima and Hiroshima. So we've got a lot planned in this tour. And I am going to put in there, we've got 18 meals in this tour. So it's a lot. Most of your meals are included. It includes 9-night accommodations. The airfare is extra. Some things that are going to be highlights of this tour is we're going to be doing a Zen meditation in one of the temples. And we'll be heading to, there's over 100,000 shrines in Japan, so we won't be visiting them all, but we'll be visiting some, okay? The other thing is, do you know what the difference is between, I just learned this, between a temple and a shrine? So a temple is for Buddhism, and then the shrine is for Shiitos. So that's they're 2 different religions in Japan. So that's why they're different, because when I started putting this together, I was like, well, they all kind of look the same. What's the difference? And so that's what I found out. It depends on the religion. And I guess that's kind of like our churches, right? Kind of in a similar way. So this tour is November 1st to 11th, and this is a guaranteed tour. So it's a guaranteed departure. We've already got a small group that's already, I believe we have about 11 people signed up for this tour. We don't plan on taking any more than 15. So it's going to be a small group if you like a small group journey. And you'll really get a chance to meet Tay. How many people traveled on Tay's trip last year, right? To Morocco? Yeah, and it's right, great person to travel with, right? So had a great time. All right. So then also I want to talk about this other trip that I'm hosting, and it's October 4th through 15th, and it's the colorful land of Morocco. Now, we ran a trip to Morocco last year. That was the trip that Tay hosted last year, and we had a lot of great feedback from the tour. One of the highlights of this tour is we're going to be doing a camel ride through the Sahara Desert at sunset. And the Sahara Desert being the largest desert in the world, you see in that picture there, if you've ever ridden, if you haven't had a chance to ride a camel, it is quite the experience. So it'll be definitely a highlight of the tour. I got to do it when I was in Israel. I did it at the Dead Sea, and it was really, really cool. And they lay down on the ground. So like, you don't have to worry about getting up, someone short like me, I've got to climb up to this thing. It kind of comes down. You just kind of get on it, and it's kind of, and then up, and then up. So that's about it. So anyway, this, in Morocco, we're gonna be visiting a lot of cities, Marrakesh, Fez, this famous tanneries in Fez that have been around for so long. It's really gonna be in Casablanca, we're going to Rick's Cafe. You might be familiar with that. That's where we're gonna be doing we added that on, we changed that on, and she's like, ooh, I wish I had gotten to do that. So come on and join me. I just did a presentation on this earlier this week. We definitely have more people interested, but we have open spots. So if you're interested in traveling with me to Africa, this is the year to do it. It's going to be, like I said, October 4th through 15th. The flyer is over there, so feel free to take it home. But I want to point out that on this tour, that it's a single supplement is only $700, and I have lots of single rooms. So please feel free, if you want to join me, put a deposit down. Let's get this secured, and I would love for you to come. All right, now we're going to be talking real quick about Iceland, just for a few minutes. I'm going to pass over this fast, but the hunt for the Northern Lights. Everybody wants to see the Northern Lights. It always is on everybody's bucket list. So we put this trip together to Iceland. We ran it last year. I'll be hosting this tour as well. I hosted it last year, and it's honestly one of those tours where you just drive, as you drive down the highway, you just see waterfalls everywhere. It's like waterfall there, and then all of a sudden volcano, and then it's just everything. And you know, if you've been watching the news lately, Iceland is actually erupting. And so it's actually a really fabulous time to go. It's nothing to be scared of, just like going to Hawaii. Kilauea has been around for like 30 years, right? So this is part of nature, it's part of what happens. Some cool highlights in this tour is that we're actually going to be able to walk between where the two tectonic plates between Asia and North America, where meet in Iceland, and they're tearing apart. So you'll be able to walk through that. In a million years, those plates will be so far apart that there will be no more Iceland. So, so you'll learn about that. Each night we'll be hunting for the Northern Lights. And last year when I ran this tour, it was in November, we saw the Northern Lights 3 times. This year we're going 1 month later. So I have a feeling we're going to have even more opportunities to see the Northern Lights. And one of the reasons how we almost guarantee, not guarantee it, but we assure that you're going to hopefully have good views, is that we go all the way out to the most furthest east point in the island nation. And we spent a couple nights out there and close to our area. And that was where we ended up really seeing the Northern Lights. And, you know, the Northern Lights is different for each person. Some people you can see with the natural eye. Others you have to use like a phone or whatnot to see them. But either way, it's quite the experience as well. So I'm going to show just one quick little video on that. We're going to move on to one last one, and then I'm going to get you guys on your way. Oops. Sorry. Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to this very natural setting. Today, I want to talk about a revolutionary approach on how to connect our world without being super weird. Some said it's not possible. Some said it's out of reach. Then we say it's already here. Seriously, look, it's right here. And what do we call this not so new chapter in human connectivity? The Iceland version. Enhanced actual reality without silly looking headsets. In our open world experience, everything is real. And has been for millions of years. It's completely immersive, with water that's wet. With humans to connect with. You're human, right? Isn't she funny? In the Iceland verse, there's real moss. You can look at it. Please don't touch it. It's very delicate. Skies you can see with your eyeballs. Volcanic rocks you can caress. Really big geysers you can observe from safe distance. Birds you can watch. They're really cute, but a bit stupid. Waterfalls, you can stand near, like this one, that one, this one, that one, and even this one. Horses you can ride, with hair you can touch. The Iceland verse is a world with possibilities so endless, they'll be here forever. So join us today, or tomorrow, or whenever. We are really easygoing. Now, please enjoy our logo.
Yes, so I always love that video. They put that out, Iceland put that out for the tourism and it's definitely funny. They have a couple of them up there. But anyway, we've got, like you said, there's a lot of great places. We won't be any longer, if actually this slideshow needs to be updated. Grindavik is actually right where the eruption is right now. This town is no longer, so we won't be there. But we are going to be able to swim in some really cool lagoons. We have 2 of them included in there, including the new Sky Lagoon, which I'm hoping that I can get the picture of before I have to end this. Give me 1 second here. Let's see, we got it at the end. I want to show you this. That's one of them right there. This is the oldest lagoon that you can swim in Iceland. It's actually been around since the 1800s. And it's really hot. Joyce, right? You thought it was pretty warm, right? When you're there, yeah, it was warm. And let's see here. Let me keep going. Oh yeah, the Northern Lights. We'll be looking for them. And then, come on, just look there. Here we go. Almost there. Show you this picture. Hopefully they got it included. Yep, there it is. Sky Lagoon. So this was just added. We didn't do this last year. This is where you swim in this part right here overlooking the ocean. And those are hot springs as well. So this will actually be on our last day as we head back to Reykjavik. So anyway, great trip. Hope you'll want to join me for this trip. I'll probably be doing another presentation on Iceland very soon. And yes, this was my group last year. You might see a few familiar faces from our solo club that are in that group there. So we had a lot of good times and a lot of laughs, I think, too. So anyway, hopefully you'll join me. It's November 30th through December 7th. Again, look at the pricing. $46.99 double per person. A single is $52.99. Yes, this includes airfare. This is a fabulous price. And so I always get the question, why would I want to go in the winter? It really isn't that wintry at that time of the year. So great time to go and to see the Northern Lights. All right, well, it's 5 after, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I do want to mention we have a solo exclusive coming up in the holidays. It's called Holiday Songs in Milwaukee. And this trip is December 5th through 7th. And one of the things that's about this tour, when you look at it, I know when you look at it, it might seem a little expensive, but the thing is about this tour is we're spending in downtown Milwaukee. So if you look at the Drury Inn where we're staying, it's a $300 a night hotel. So when you look at that pricing, $600 of it is your hotel. So when you start to equate down and you think about round trip motor coach, 5 meals and everything else that's included, it is a really good value and it's a great time because it'll be with your solo friends. So hopefully you'll join us for that. And that I'm going to end. I think we got to do our door prizes, right? So let's do those. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. Each time we do this, our presentations will include something different. Sometimes I have some of our suppliers come in and give us presentations. You'll always hear from me. I'll try to talk as fast as possible to sell as much as I can to you while I'm here, but, we'll go from there. So we have 3 fabulous prizes too today. All right, first one. Got here.
Bonita Solar.
Bonita, where are you? Come on up. I got a present for you. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right, I got 2 more fabulous gifts. The next is going to be a tech accessory organizer. Whoops, there we go. And now all of these fabulous gifts come from our travel store. If you haven't had a chance to go to one of our travel stores, we have a fabulous travel store. RVP Linda goes on Twin Cities Live and she just was selling a whole bunch of stuff on there this past week. So let's see, the next one is Pat Brandon. Where's Pat? All right, Pat, I got one for you. Here you go. This is a tech travel accessory organizer, all right? Yes, thank you. All right, we got one more gift. This is going to be the luggage cup holder. So what this does is it goes on top of your luggage. You can put your bottle, right? And it hooks on. It's kind of nice. So as you're going through the airport, you can just put this on there and we give you one for a buddy too. So you got two or if you lose one. All right. Oops, is that two? All right, sorry for that person. Okay. Last but not least, of course, ooh, Deb Felgen. Where's Deb? There you go. All right. You want to luggage holders. So I want to thank everybody. Thanks Christina, Liz, to all of my staff back there, Carrie, Dawn, and Chris. And I want to thank you for coming. We'll see you guys all in October. Thank you. Have a great summer. All right. Thank you. Hope to see you on tour. I mean, I'm kind All right, sounds good. Thank you. Yes, we did do it. Well, but I think so. And I've been. What do you want to do? You want to post about it? Okay, what I can do is I'm gonna. The name is Carrie. In the back. That's sitting on the they don't know. Talk to our agent. We can help you. She's been on it as well. All right, thank you. United. Yes. Yeah, but like when you're in certain spots, it wasn't like, there were certain people. Yeah.
Going back again a second time, it's going to be great, and this time I think I'm gonna get more chances. Especially now. So it's the University of Louis Park office, so there'll be, there's a parking lot right next to our fire leaks, we're at the back. That's gonna be part of it. Yeah, because we're still going to live here, but, if we'll get talking about, obviously, speaking about. And we're just finalized our carryover, you know, that's different things, kind of, it's gonna be a very, really, so we get over there, and then. Do as take care of my to the downtown area kind of thing, it's free time and then we pay some taxes. So, all right, so I look forward to traveling with you. Thank you. I look forward to talking to you. No. Oh, yes. Not into the mall, but you can go on a space and just that's the mall area, like everybody has to over you're in the certain. I just think they're trying to like limit it. They're not you want to know about? Yeah. So we're gonna have a great time, right? You're gonna get to meet my husband. He's gonna drive in from New York to meet us out around the island. So you get to meet him too, all right? All right, so good to see you. Are you telling everyone? No. Yeah, well, they did. Yeah. Yeah, yes. Look at the monuments. Next summer. Oh, yeah, yes, you know. You get an email from me, so I say,